I ask myself a ton of questions because I overthink everything. That's what my therapist tells me. But I just kind of weigh out what it's worth. You know, I think about my daughter being like 10 years old and looking at me and being like, Mom, this was happening. What were you doing? And I was like, well, honey, I retweeted something and I'm sure that did something for someone, you know? So it's one of these things where it's like, what can I live with? And right now, I just do not think it's a time to stay silent about anything.
Tell us about a moment where you wish you would have said something and you didn't. There's nothing better than this. Say what you mean. 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 Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Aida Rodriguez, and welcome to another episode of Say What You Mean, where people stop by to tell those stories where they wish they would have spoken up and they didn't, and then you get to hear it first. So I start with my own Say What You Mean, and this one is the but you're not people. I know 3 people in my life who said to me, but you're not a stand-up comedian, but you're not an actress, but you're not a writer. And to those people, I just want to say, one is a writer, but he was so insecure about being a writer that he became consumed with trying to convince me that I wasn't. I just really want people to go get the help that they need. Like, I go to therapy because I know I got issues, and when I say mean shit, it has nothing to do with the other person. It has to do with how I'm feeling about myself. I've learned to apologize. I've learned to accept apologies. I've learned to communicate and have conversations because it doesn't do you no good. So but you're not people in my life. I hope you find that space where you feel so good about yourself that you're not worried about anybody else. You know who you are because I know you watch because you've been in the comments. One of them. Oh, the next person on Say What You Mean, I'm very excited to have on the show. Actually, you saw her. She did Truth Serum during COVID. She's one of my favorite people in Hollywood from the Hollywood batch that I don't with. She is one of the ones that I do because she's a real one. But she's also very talented. If you watched On My Block, you just saw her pop. This is what kept me coming back to this show. I was like, who is that? She's funny. I also saw her on How to Get Away with Murder, and I got super excited. She's been in Illegally Brown, Living Maddie, and now she's here on Say What You Mean. Give it up for my girl, Jess Garcia.
Yay! Thank you for having me. You're also one of the few in the batch that I also with.
I know. Julio was here yesterday. First of all, Julio's in here. Everybody was like, he is so beautiful.
So what have we been saying about me? It's all Julio. But I would like to know the consensus.
Gorgeous.
No, stop it, guys. You stop
Charming,
that.
beautiful.
Y'all.
Funny. Oh, my. And
I'll take it. I know I fish, but I will take it.
And I don't know a bitch that can wear a brown like that.
I did feel a little Indiana Jones when I walked out, but I appreciate it. I will take it.
Indiana Jones, no.
Right? No,
that's a mama jacket. I like it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, and you know what? I love your confidence. I love the way you take pictures. Because when you post your pictures, I'm always like, I feel so goofy when I'm doing a photo shoot. And then I see your pictures and I'm like, I'm gonna just take your page with me when I go do a photo shoot, and I'm just gonna emulate your poses.
Please do, because you're so fine. Like you have to.
But I don't know, I feel goofy like taking
It's just
pictures.
because you're also a comedian. You know what I mean? They act like you have to be one or the other. And it's like, no, you can be both. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. You're living it.
You're funny though.
Thank you.
You are really funny.
Coming from you, that's a lot.
No, how many people did you feel love from when you were on My Block?
Oh, so much. And I was terrified that everyone was gonna hate it. So terrified. So the love is crazy.
And how much of that was improv though? Is what I was really curious about.
There was a good person. I will not ever take credit away from the writers because they really did write some incredibly hilarious things for me. But I did improv a lot, like a good chunk. But they let me, and a lot of shows don't. I mean, I improv'd in the audition. Oh, I was like,
yeah, with the physicality. That's why you popped on the show, because you did you.
Thank you.
You would climb on shit.
Yeah.
You just do. It was really, really funny. Like I
peed in a sink. I will do anything for a laugh, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get to that point. That's probably why you work.
I was about to say I don't suggest it, but
No,
I
but
will
I'm
do
saying
it.
that's probably why you work so much more than I do. How important were the words? How important are words to you?
Oh, so important. I mean, I'm a writer as well.
Yes.
And I say that proudly.
Yes.
Regardless of what the comments say. So I think they're very important. It's something that, especially with other writers, I try to respect their work. But as a performer, I think it has to feel authentic coming out of me. So there is like a dance there, you know, and it's a respect, but it's also an understanding that it's like this is a partnership in a lot of ways. But there's not a lot of shows or films that allow you to have that. So it's great when you're able to.
What has been your favorite thing to do as an actor? Like, what has been your favorite role?
Oh, I mean, it might not have been a huge role, but playing opposite Viola Davis
Of course.
is something that I will take to the grave. Like, it was everything. It was everything and more. Like, she's really cool. Like, you know how they say don't meet your heroes? Like, she's one that you will be very happy to meet. Like, I remember the first day, the PA was like, oh, come with me. And I was like, awesome. They're like, oh, actually, hold on. We're going to wait for Viola. I was like, I'm walking with her. She's going to walk with me.
Aww.
She's all right with that. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, this is going to be a very different experience, you know, because you hear horror stories about like, you know, big celebrities, but she's a star. Yeah.
Yeah. I love her. I met her last year. Lisa Vidal introduced me to her. She was cordial. She was in the middle of doing 10 million things and she stopped what she was doing to say hello, which I thought was very gracious of her. I love her Instagram because she's always shouting other people out and celebrating other women. And I love that about her.
100%. Yeah.
Which you also do.
I try, yeah.
Tell me what your dream role is, though. When it comes to you, I always think like, what would I? Because I like to see you funny, but I also like to see you serious.
You know, I always feel that comedy stems from drama. I know there's a lot of comedians that disagree with that, but I really think it does. It was legitimately a defense mechanism that I came up with in order to tell the joke before I was it. And I was like, oh, people like when I make them laugh, and it makes me so happy, and I feel like I've gained something, you know, like some kind of confidence or so I've always liked to make people laugh. So as far as a dream role, it's kind of the opposite. Like I would love to be Martha and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Oh,
or or Lady Macbeth. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I could be the Scottish Queen and be Lady McBee. These are roles that I would love to do because I just want to just like cut this open and just bleed for everybody. And that's what I was trained to do. I was classically trained in theater. And when I came out here, I did an intense scene study class for 10 years. And I wanted to be able to do anything. So I want to show that to people.
Where did you come from?
I'm from Orlando, Florida. Disney World adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah, Orlando. That's where a lot of the Puerto Ricans go. That came from Maria. And so how long have you been doing this now?
Professionally for 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were playing a teenager.
For more than half my career. Like
that's beautiful.
I just now retired the backpack.
Did you really?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
I don't know, you still look
I'll say yes to anything. I mean, Hollywood is not a great place right now. So I will say yes to everything. But no, I would love to do more mature roles. I think a lot of women in my position are terrified of that. But like, I'm in a very different category than a lot of women that we hang out with. You know, they're all, you know, fighting to stay super young, fighting to stay super thin. And I'm just like, I'll be 45 years old with a baby. I don't care.
And crying.
Like,
because we're actors,
yeah.
right? We're supposed to be actors. Yeah. I agree with that. And actually, I offended someone when I said that because they were making a comment about how all the Black actresses get all the best roles. And I was like, I don't know about that, but I will say that Black actresses that I know, the ones that I respect, like Regina King, they're not afraid to not be glamorous. They go to work. Yep. And then I said, and with the person I was talking to, I was like, you're so busy trying to prove that you're still young and you still got it, that it feels so, it feels vapid when you're on camera and people can feel that.
100%.
Like, I've always wanted to play a crackhead. Like a real good crackhead, because I grew up around. I got plenty to pull from. But so tell me, you said you and I have had these conversations.
We have
offline.
Yeah.
So you want to get down and get gritty and play the roles.
I want to do things that are outside of what people think that I can do. You know, I feel like I've been stereotyped to play like Jasmine or Jasmine adjacent, and there's so much more to me than that. Yeah. So there have been roles that have come to me after on my block that were very similar that I've had to like make a decision and be like, no, I don't think this is a good place for me. Which is so hard to do as an actor because I'm not in a place where people are just like, give her this role. I'm saying no to everything. Right now I'm like, oh no, I'll say yes. What do you want me to do? You want me to hold a boom mic? I will. So it's like, it's such a battle. Like what is going to be good for your career, but also like what's going to pay the bills, which is ultimately number one.
I know all of us have to always make that decision. Yeah. Jasmine wasn't written like you did it though.
I don't know. Like, it's so interesting because I would have loved to have seen what other actors did auditioning for Jasmine.
They didn't do what you did. and it's a hard pill to swallow because I had a meeting with my agent and he was like, he said, you are solid. He was like, I need you to be extraordinary. I need you to step outside your comfort zone. He said, you're so safe. I want you to make some wild choices. And that is what people are looking for now. Whereas before, it would be like less is more. Now they want to see people, they want to see you show up because there's so many actresses, so many tapes, so many people being serious.
This whole tape world is so different, and I think it's such a disadvantage to young actors that are coming in here now because they don't have that experience with a casting agent or a casting director that's going to give you notes on the fly. And if I could give any words of encouragement to actors out there is to push for a Zoom. Don't just go, no, I want a perfect tape, because you don't know what a perfect tape is. I feel like half the time as actors doing self-tapes, we're being casting as well. And we're like, no, they want this. They're looking for this. We don't know what the hell they're looking for. So it's just like you have to do your best job at that part that you think you would want to do on set and lead with that. But even that's not giving you the job because they're looking for somebody who pretty much knows the note before they were even given it. And that's not fair as an actor because like 90% of what we do is take notes.
Absolutely.
So I just yesterday booked a job and I haven't booked it. Thank you. And I haven't in a long time. And half of that was because I pushed for a Zoom. Oh, nice. Because even I thought, oh, okay, this is what they want. And then when I did the Zoom, I was like, oh no, they want something completely different. And I was able to switch it up. Had I just sent the perfect tape, I wouldn't have got that job, you know?
I should have pushed for the Zoom for On My Block.
Yes.
I read for Sierra's mom.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh my God, that would have been crazy.
I know. It's about, I watched it until she died. And I was like, yeah. Nah.
Did you know she was going to die?
No. No, you know, when I read it, I had only seen the pilot. But but when I read for that show, I never imagined in my wildest imagination when I read that script that show would be what it actually was when it came to life. Because when I read the script, I was like, oh, this is a cute little kid show. But when I saw it, I got hooked. I watched every episode. Like, I was like, oh my God, I love the show. I love the show so much.
I miss it. I miss it so much.
It was culturally very impactful.
Yeah.
Now, you got really popular when that show came out. You are very active on social media in a way that I admire, that I wish I could be. How much time do you spend in your comments section?
A good amount. I mean, I read mostly everything.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do you respond?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If I have the time and you piss me off enough, yeah. But I also give the same amount of energy to people that say nice things.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people look past that and only comment to the people that are negative, and that kind of feeds that idea that like, oh, if I'm then I'm going to get comments back. Because half the time you say something back, they're like, oh my God, I was just kidding. I love you so much. And it's like, all right.
What's the most outlandish thing somebody's ever said to you on social media that you remember?
Besides like death threats and telling me to go back to my own country.
Death threats?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. People are awful. Also, I'm very, I talk a lot about politics.
Yeah,
I'm very involved.
vocal.
So that always has, pushback to it. What have they said?
Did you ever?
Oh, that I was like I was with Diddy. Oh, I was at the P. Diddy parties. Yeah. I was like, guys, when did I get in? Right? I was like, when did I get popular? Not when any of that was going on. I am not that cool to even be invited to big things like that.
And you know what's funny is like,
happily that I did
even
it.
though now this is taking this turn, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I never was like, I used to be like, damn, I wish I got invited. I was like, I want to be on the list.
Yeah. How would you know?
Yeah. I didn't know that the baby oils actions was happening.
Oh my God.
So when we think about that comment section and people saying the wildest thing to you, what can you think of a moment where you wish you would have said something and you didn't?
It actually happened just recently, like as in yesterday. Somebody tweeted like, really, wow, the cast of On My Block just disappeared. And I was about to go, well, I just booked and I have been steadily working for the past 15 years, but like, all right. But I didn't because it just feeds it. And I always just think about what Beyonce said, which is the best revenge is your paper. So I'm just like, no, I'll let the score speak for itself. You know, you don't need to comment on everything, but there's a lot of time I wish I did. Yeah. But it also feels like a weird like high that you get when you write back. And then I'm like, what are they going to say back? Because I'm going to be ready for something else. You know what I mean? But yeah, I try to stop doing that because it does take a lot of my energy that I do not need to spend on people like that.
The funny thing is, whatever you want to believe, you will. 100. Whatever you want to see, because the phone is listening. Because I saw that Sierra just did a movie not too long ago that was a really like a Bonnie and Clyde type movie that she just did. You know, like it's like whatever you want to believe. You want to believe that On My Block cast is not working, and because you're not watching for them anymore. But
Brett's just on Broadway, no big deal. He was on The Shy, all the things, but like, you know.
Right. So I think it's interesting when people say that. What I've practiced doing, and I got this from my therapist, I do a response. I get it all on my system, and then I delete it. I don't post it, but I just write it out, and it's cathartic for me. It's like, man, you, bitch, I hope you die too. Blah, blah, blah. And then I just delete it and don't give it any energy.
God, that's a lot of willpower. I think I don't know if it's my ADHD. Like I have to no, it's like consequence needs to happen now. And you need to know that you're wrong. Like that's not,
well, I have ADHD too, but I'm on Strattera.
Oh, see, I'm not on anything.
The medication helps.
I'm on indica and hybrids.
So we have a segment on the show called Shoulda Kept That.
Okay.
I will share a story with you and then I'll tell you what somebody said, and I'll ask you if you think they should have said it or if they should have kept it.
Okay.
My grandmother passed away a few years ago. She left me money and a house. I was the only grandchild that was in her will. At our family reunion, one of my cousins was boasting about how my grandmother loved him more because he looked the most like my grandmother. I got pissed and told him that I didn't need to look like anybody because she left me a house. I could tell that not only did I hurt his feelings, but I also made my other two cousins feel bad too. I let my ego get the best of me, and my cousins kicked me out of the group chat. Should I have kept that, or should I have shared it?
Ooh, that's a really good question, because I can totally understand why you would say something in retaliation like that. But yeah, no, the long term is probably not the best. You probably should have kept it. Yeah. I mean, unless you really hate your cousins. But
I'm sorry,
if
Elijah.
you don't.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm joking. And I shouldn't have said his name. But
bleep.
Yeah, I'm joking. No, you know what it is? It's the same thing of responding to social media.
Yeah.
Is learning to manage that part of you that wants to respond to somebody. But you got to, now you start thinking about, why did that person say that to me? And then you have to say, oh, that's something about them, that they feel small because why, but that's a long process, and that's a process you got to learn. I didn't grow up like that. We were reactionary constantly, right? And so, all right. So
that's a bad one. Yeah.
That's a bad one, right? But it's like, well, I look more like my grandmother than you, and whatever.
But but at the same time, it's like, let them have that. Let them have that.
You got the
house. The house looks like me, so I'll keep it. You know what I mean?
You petty though. I like your
right.
Petty.
Yeah. The shade I'm about to put over.
Petty. Okay, so this is our lightning round. It's called Say It With Your Chest.
Okay.
Smash or pass, going Dutch.
Oh, smash.
Okay.
Especially with friends.
Yeah.
I feel like I always buy, and I'm like, no, let's not act like we're all making money.
You're so visible on TV that I'm sure people expect you to pay. Yeah. It's the curse. Would you rather cartoons or live action?
Oh, live action.
How old were you when you first got your eyebrows done?
Oh, I was 13 and I never got them done again.
Yeah.
Because they took this whole thing out.
Yeah. Was it a Latina?
No. And my mom, and it was for homecoming, and my mom had to paint them in. They took literally this whole thing off.
Because the Latinas used to do the
I think it was just the time. Yeah. No, mine were Nike symbols. They weren't even commas. Just do it was just like on my head.
Fight or flight, baby Komodo dragons.
What?
Fight or flight?
Do I fight them?
Or flight?
Oh, flight. I'm not fighting anything.
No.
Flight to all of the above. Animals? No.
I love that everybody, some people are compassionate about the animals.
Yeah.
Some people are like, wait, is it a woman or is it a female or a male? Like, is it a baby or they have a thought process. They're like, yeah, I'll fight a baby kangaroo.
What? I'm not no. No. Run a safari or something? No, absolutely not. I'm running away. I'm compassionate about animals to leave them alone.
Yeah.
Let them be, and I'll be far away.
Look harmless, and you can never imagine the harm that they could do. Like, and there's so many animals that have some sort of poison.
Yes, there was one that just went viral because this woman got bit by it, and it's like the cutest little thing. It looks like a little, I don't even know what it looks like. I think it's some kind of monkey, and it bit her, and it was venomous.
Oh, did she live?
Yeah, but it was so cute that you would never think.
Yeah, no. I don't want anything to do with monkeys.
No, if it's a dog, great. If it's a cat, wonderful. Any other animal can.
Yo, I'm allergic to rabbits. So it's for me, like, and people are like, they so cute.
Easter's coming up,
like,
boo.
have an EpiPen nearby if you are in the vicinity of a rabbit.
I love that you are such a badass and so hard, and you're gonna go down by a rabbit. That's everything. The Easter Bunny's gonna do you in.
Oh my God, Easter!
You better run away. Jesus didn't rise again, not for you.
You so ridiculous. If you could say anything to your favorite teacher, what would it be?
Oh, that would be Miss Hines, who was my 6th grade teacher, who's the first one who put me in a play, who actually gave me a speaking role. And I will remember it because I auditioned and I spoke so fast because it was Shakespeare. And I had the paper right here in front of me, and she still saw something in me. And she told me to thank her in my Oscar speech. And I still will.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Where is Miss Hines, in Orlando?
Yes.
Nice.
I think. I'm not sure now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Gilead, as we call it.
Oh, no, God, you're right.
How are you feeling? What's going on? I know you feel you feel many things. You're very vocal. Are you ever afraid that when you speak up and you speak out, that it's going to affect you getting work?
Oh, 100%. I just try and ask myself a ton of questions because I overthink everything. That's what my therapist tells me. But I just kind of weigh out what it's worth. You know, I think about my daughter being like 10 years old and looking at me and being like, Mom, this was happening. What were you doing? And I was like, well, honey, I retweeted something and I'm sure that did something for someone, you know? So it's one of these things where it's like, what can I live with? And right now, I just do not think it's a time to stay silent about anything.
Are you afraid of the consequences?
Yeah, but I can always wait tables again.
Yeah.
I was really good at it.
I can wait tables. I'm like, I don't want to go to jail.
Or where are they going to deport me? I don't know if I'm going to Mexico or Cuba. Like, what side of the family do they decide on? What private jail spends more money for people?
I would go to Mexico if I had a choice.
Yeah, I would say, but I don't know what they decide for you. Do they even go that far? You know, it's just like you're going here.
Oh, I mean, that's what's been happening.
Yeah, there's too many vowels in your name, so you need to leave. Yeah. You told me to say what I mean.
I know. I want you to say what you mean. You always do anyway. I'm always watching you, and I'm like, it'll be like a slick post with a beautiful picture and a beautiful outfit, and then the next one will be like, the police, and I'm like, what the hell? It just goes from one extreme to the other. Like,
you're so right. I think about that sometimes too. It
that's how my
is
page
like that.
is. My page. If you see my page, then you know I have ADHD. Like I'll just have. It'll be a paragraph about justice, and then it'll be a post, and then I'll repost a kid doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Like my page is like all over the place.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Do you curate your social media? Do you sit down and
No.
That's why it's so successful.
It's so random.
But it's successful though, because I hear people like, I have my Mondays, my Tuesdays, my Wednesdays. I don't do that.
Absolutely. I got a child. I have a toddler. I can't curate anything.
No. And you don't have a problem reposting other people, which I think is really funny. Some people are like, yeah, I don't put other people on my main grid. I don't put people on my main grid that I care about because they don't get any response. But when I put it in my stories, that's where they get the most responses.
Yeah.
Which is what I've learned. Like, there are so many things, and especially now because of the way the algorithm works, is like you'll post something and 3 people will see it.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens to me on TikTok all the time, and I'm like, I have 4 million followers. How did only like 7 people?
You have 4 million followers on TikTok?
I do. That wasn't trying to be a flex, but I was just saying that there's a lot of people.
But flex, why don't you? Because we were trying.
Then 4.4. If I'm not flexing, if I'm just living in an honest space with all of you, it's 4.4.
You gotta say what you mean.
4.4 million. Just.
How do you think you got 4.4 million followers on TikTok? Those of us who are still trying to figure it out.
I think for me, I've been really lucky that I've been on YA shows, who are always the most, loving and like energetic and passionate of the audiences. And I've been on shows with cute boys. And I will post those cute boys. So
you do. I did a TikTok with Julio yesterday.
Yeah, you should. That will work. That will work.
We did
great.
it for the show. Well, he has a lot of engagement on his page. It's not just followers, but there's a lot of engagement. Yeah. I'm assuming a lot of those are proposals.
Probably.
It's so funny because he sat here and he did the show and he mentioned his wife like 9 times. And I was like, I know that has to agitate the wounds of these like little girls.
I love her so much. I don't know how she does it because like the comments she gets for it is just insane. Oh yeah, she's not really. I don't want to speak for her, but she's not as active on social media for that purpose as well. Like she's a very private person, but yeah.
Oh wow, people are insane. Though.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember the woman that played Angela in Power said people would spit on her on the train or try to spit on her. They would curse her out. And she was like, it is a character. Like, I am not Angela. But it's like there's a lot of, before it used to be where people had that, celebrity fanaticism or whatever. But it's at an all-time high, I think, because a lot of people are not okay. Do you ever have people come up to you and respond to you like you're Jasmine?
Oh yeah, most people do. Most people will, call me Jasmine, or I'm getting to a point now in my career where people ask me Jessica. They at least Google me before they come up to me. They're like, "What's her real name?" I don't know. Let's look it up. But because I play such a character that people think that they know and that they know somebody that's like Jasmine or they're like Jasmine, they feel very comfortable coming up to me. But honestly, I enjoy it. Yeah. I love it. To know that I've done something that made an impact on somebody is just insane to me. It's one of the reasons I got into this. So that never bothers me. I've had a few instances where I've had someone follow me to my car coming out of CVS, or people that just demand so much from you. It's like, no, make this video and then make this phone call. And then no, you have to. It's like one of these things where it's like, I have to go. Or you have your daughter and you don't want people to I don't show her on social media. So it's like, it's interesting. Yeah, to navigate.
So everybody has access because everybody, everybody's everywhere. And I appreciate you because when HarperCollins did the thing with my book, they said, can you gather some Latina actresses to voice the stories of your life? And you were like, there was never, you didn't even say, call my manager. You were, you were like, yeah, where at? Where
Could you imagine?
Send me the address and I'll be there. So I really appreciate you showing up.
No, I appreciate you. I think you're incredible. So the fact that you would even ask me to be a part of something so special and personal to you means a lot.
No, I meant that it meant the world that you showed up in the way that you did. And thank you for showing up here.
Yeah, anytime.
I really enjoy you, and I think everybody else here did too because you're so
4.4 million followers on TikTok.
We're going to follow you so we can figure out how we're going to do this TikTok. She She left. I was like, I told her yesterday, I was like, hey, I said, every time I open it up, I see you. And she was like, yeah, I left because I'm doing drinks. And you can't do drinks for 9-year-olds on TikTok.
No.
I didn't know.
They frown upon that.
Yeah, it's a lot of little kids on TikTok.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're supposed to be like 13 or 14, but yeah, no, there are children. Yeah, legitimately children.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Tell people what's coming up.
Oh gosh.
Whatever you can say.
Yes. Well, I was just in an episode of The Thundermints that just came out for Nickelodeon. That was a lot of fun. I have a couple of my own podcasts coming out, maybe with some past guests that you've had.
Okay.
So look out for those. And I just booked something yesterday, so it's going to be a new show for me. That's all I can really say. It's not a comedy.
Okay.
And it's a very successful show.
Oh, nice.
So I'm very, very excited.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. We can talk about it.
Okay. All right.
But I can't talk to you about it.
And where can this 4.4 million following grow?
If you're the 0.5 that I'm missing, go for TikTok, it's at Jess Marie with no E Garcia. And on Instagram, it's at Jess_M_Garcia.
Yeah, and people, you see it when they want to find you, they find you. You hit them with the underscore.
Oh, the underscore. Yeah. I'm on Cameo.
Million. My name is just Funny Aida, and I cannot get
50
people to show up on one day.
Do you know how popular Jessica Garcia is? There's like 19. I've met multiple Jessica Garcias in my life.
Yeah,
like you got to have an underscore.
Google what Aida Rodriguez when you get home.
I'll do it now.
A great percentage of them are in jail.
No, mine too. Mine too. I had to change mine for SAG, but yeah, they were in jail.
They are in jail. So they out there representing.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of Say What You Mean. We want to invite you to follow us on social media at SWYM Pod on all social media platforms. If you are listening, please hit the subscribe button if you're on Spotify or Apple. If you are watching, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to give us your rating and your review. And we will see you next time on Say What You Mean.